they
Pros and cons of being a contortionist. Disclaimer, this is mostly my pros and cons. The pro is it can be really relaxing. The con is it can be really tiring at the same time. Sometimes. But it can be really sore if you haven't stretched for a long time. So always keep stretching. That's a really, really important tip, please. I feel sore in my back, my legs, sometimes my neck. Please move your neck. Move your neck every time you do contortion. You'll thank me later. My personal con, I keep doing contortion in my sleep. Literally, like I would wake up doing the back bend. Like, what the heck am I doing in that, you know? And sometimes when I'm asleep, I move, adjusting my position of what feels comfortable. And then I'm doing a half twist.
Woo! Come on, let's do it.
Like I see my body in one side while I'm in another. It's frustrating because I just want to sleep normal on my back. Sleep. I can't just want to sleep. That's why I have eye bags. But that's personally me. I know contortionists that don't have this problem, so just letting you know, heads up. And also try sleeping in your back. Pillows at the side. That's what prevented me from doing that. You can't stop stretching for a long time. You'll have to keep stretching almost every day, as often as possible if you can. That's something I don't like about contortion. I can't do it whenever I want. Nope, I have to wait until 2 hours after eating. When I'm done eating, I have to wait 2 hours just to stretch, just to practice a handstand. For stretching, if you don't stretch for more than a month, like, you're gonna lose some of your flexibility. That's a big con. I stopped stretching for 5 months and I had to start all over again because I'm not that flexible. The more flexible you are, the more difficult it is to lose it. Or it could be the other way around. It depends on the person and the body. I'm not an expert. This is my experience. Yeah, like it's terrible because when you stretch, it took so long to get there, and then when you stop stretching for a long period of time, you lost all of that. But look at the bright side. If that happens to you, just in case, your flexibility will come back easier than when you first started as a newbie, rookie. Okay, just letting you know in case that happens. But still, it's always good to stretch as much as possible. But try not to stretch every single day, so you don't feel exhausted. You don't want to overstretch your body. So give your days a few days off, of course, just in case. Once you start doing contortion, there's almost no going back. If you don't like stretching, contortion's not for you. You gotta love it, because you're gonna be doing that all the freaking time. You chose contortion as your career, 70% of the time you're gonna be stretching most of the time. In contortion, you'll be stretching more than you would be performing, which is something I don't really like. That's my personal con. I like stretching, but sometimes I don't like it. But I have to keep stretching so I can feel better. As a professional contortionist that's worked in 2 circuses, yeah, I don't have a good background yet. I'm starting, okay? Like, honestly, like, it can be really stressful being a contortionist for a circus. Even if it's your family circus or it's for another circus as an employee. I've been an employee twice. Employee 2 times in my life. Because I'm just starting out. It's pretty good though. And it can be really stressful because, like, when you have to do contortion and you didn't stretch enough, it's like, how am I gonna do this? And it can be really stressful, you know, and the more stressful you are, the more stress you put on the body. The body feels your stress when you stretch. Like, it's so hard to stretch when you're stressed, so it's easily stressful for me at least. Everything is stressful because I do a bunch of stuff. Stress is normal in the circus, but try to make sure it doesn't get to you. That's a pro tip. A tip my mom gave me. And yeah, like it could be really tiring because you're doing it all the time. Like the more slow it is for me, the more tiring because you have to do it in a slow time and it's holding it. The pace is not bad. It's holding the pose, holding my legs over my head like ugh. Nah man, and then my neck feels pressure. Ugh. If it feels too much pressure in your neck, stop. Do it for a really short time. Okay? For every act, not just contortion, but like everything else, you have to be careful. You have to. I'm looking at you. In contortion, just because you're flexible doesn't mean nothing can hurt you. You can still get hurt. You need to know how you do it and what you're gonna do and how you're gonna do it. How are you gonna do a back bend? You're doing it back. Make sure your head's back and your hands back and keep your feet down to the ground and do it slowly and carefully. Everything you have to do in contortion, you need to do it all carefully. You have to do it in a way that's comfortable for you to do it, and you gotta know what you're doing. So in contortion, like, it's not like, oh my gosh, the most dangerous act in the world or anything like that, but like any act, no matter how easy it is, you always need to be smart and careful with what you do because it's your body. You have control in your body, so that's very, very, very important. Too important. I can't frustrate this enough because you don't want to hurt yourself and, you know, get hurt. You know, you don't want to break anything. So, like everything else, this is not exactly a con, more like a tip. Be careful and be smart. You have to be, because if you don't be smart and careful, you don't have to be like mathematics intelligent. Just like be intelligent with your body, like the way you control it. Be intelligent with how you're gonna do it. You know, common sense. That's a con. Like it's not like you gotta do it right. Okay? Like if you think you're not capable of doing it right, it's not for you. None of the acts are for you. Any circus act you want to do, you need to do it right. Because if you don't do it right, well, nothing's gonna be your match. Because everything's like that in the circus. So this is more like a fear, not really too much like a con. But I always have this fear that I'll fall off the table. And that's why I always ask for little bigger ones. It's okay to ask for a bigger table. You know, there's a lot of contortionists have bigger tables. Some people do smaller ones because it's a personal choice. But smaller ones are more popular. That you can fall off if you don't know what you're doing. Here's a pro tip. Always mark where you're going to do your pose. I don't know if that makes sense. But mark your feet. Like, okay, in this part, in the table I had, there was a line. I would step on that line, and that's where I'm always going to step when I do a back bend. Because you need to know where you're going to stand. That's a pro tip for you, and if you don't want to fall off the table, because I'm always scared of falling off the table. I never fell off the table before. That's a fear for me, because you can easily fall off the object you're going to use if you don't know what you're doing. But it doesn't usually happen because people will practice a lot on it, so don't worry about that. That's just my personal fear. You don't need to fear that, because I know I shouldn't be, but I would like to let you know if you had the same fear as me. That's why I'm mentioning it. So, you know, you're not alone if you do have that fear too, because I do too, man. High five.